Ever wonder why some people seem to effortlessly build wealth, while others struggle to make ends meet? What's the difference between the wealthy and the rest of us when it comes to managing money? If you ever felt like you're stuck in a cycle of saving and budgeting without getting ahead, today's video will shed light on the real things that truly separate the rich from everyone else. Stick around as we dive into the top 5 things rich people do differently with their money and discover how their mindset and financial strategies can help you achieve long-term wealth. 1. They buy time, not status. Let's start with the first key. They buy time, not status. While many people in the middle class focus on saving money by trading time, like driving across town to save $20, wealthy individuals spend money to buy back their time. To them, time is a non-renewable resource, and they understand that using it wisely can lead to greater wealth. For example, instead of spending hours doing tasks they could outsource, rich people hire personal assistants, automate their business processes, or invest in technology that frees up their time. By doing this, they maximize their productivity and focus on activities that bring the most value, whether it's scaling their businesses, growing investments, or spending time on strategic initiatives. In 2026, we're seeing an increasing trend of wealthy individuals investing in automation, personal services, and even high-performance travel to maximize productive hours. For instance, a rich entrepreneur might invest in private jet travel to save valuable hours that would otherwise be spent in airports. They don't see these expenses as indulgent. They see them as tools for productivity. For the wealthy, time equals opportunity. They understand that the more time they can dedicate to high-value work, the more wealth they can generate. So, instead of hoarding money, they strategically spend it to buy back their time and focus on what matters most. This habit is a game changer when it comes to building long-term wealth. 2. They view money as a weapon, not a reward. The second thing rich people do differently is that they view money as a weapon, not a reward. When most people receive money, they think of it as something to be spent, whether on luxuries, gadgets, or experiences. But for the wealthy, money is not something to be consumed. It's something to leverage. They see capital as a tool that can help them negotiate, control outcomes, and amplify their financial position. For example, rather than spending money on a vacation or an expensive car, wealthy individuals might use that capital to buy assets, such as stocks, real estate, or shares in a profitable business. This allows them to generate income that continues to work for them long after the money has been spent. They focus on investments that build their wealth, not temporary luxuries. A great example of this approach is when the wealthy invest in businesses that produce income rather than just spending on things that depreciate. They may also strategically invest in assets that can influence market conditions. For instance, they might invest in a supplier to a competitor to control that competitor's costs. In this case, money becomes a strategic weapon, a tool to control, influence, and amplify their financial leverage. Furthermore, the wealthy also use money as a tool to solve problems. If they need something like a house or a car, they don't just buy it. They look at how the asset can be leveraged to improve their financial position. For instance, buying a rental property allows them to generate rental income, turning the property into an asset that pays them monthly rather than just a cost. Money is seen as a vehicle for long-term growth, not something that's spent without thought. 3. They prioritize structure over ownership. The third thing rich people do differently is prioritizing structure over ownership. While the middle class might focus on owning things, whether it's a house, a car, or a piece of land, the wealthy tend to focus on control rather than nominal ownership. They understand that control through legal frameworks is often more valuable than owning something outright. This is where things like trusts, offshore entities, and segregated companies come into play. The wealthy use these tools to protect their wealth from risk, taxes, and creditors. For example, instead of putting an asset directly in their name, a rich person might put it in a trust that they control. This way, they have access to the asset's benefits, but protected from any potential risks or liabilities. While someone from the middle class might want their name on the deed to a property, a wealthy person would prefer the asset to be held by a trust or an LLC they control. This gives them better control and protection, all while benefiting from the asset's growth and income. This principle allows them to shield their wealth while still maintaining full access to it. For the rich, the goal is to keep the wealth growing and protected, not necessarily to flaunt ownership. By focusing on the structure of wealth management, they create a solid foundation that supports long-term financial stability and growth. 4. They obsess over income streams, not just savings. The key difference is that rich people obsess over income streams, not just savings. While many people focus on saving money for a rainy day, wealthy individuals understand that creating multiple streams of income is far more effective. They know that saving is important, but it's the ability to generate income consistently that truly builds long-term wealth. Wealthy individuals don't just rely on their salary to build wealth. They invest in income-generating assets like rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, or businesses that produce revenue even when they're not actively working. This approach helps them grow their wealth without having to constantly work for every dollar. In addition, the wealthy view their own skills and knowledge as one of their most valuable assets. They invest in education, certifications, and specialized training that increase their earning power. Whether it's learning new skills, starting a side business, or investing in a new venture, they understand that increasing their income is a priority. By continuously investing in themselves, they ensure their income continues to grow over time. The idea here is to focus on building a robust income portfolio, not just a savings account. Having multiple income streams gives you more financial security and freedom. It ensures that your wealth continues to grow, even in uncertain times. 5. They practice selective frugality. Finally, one of the habits that rich people have is practicing selective frugality. Despite the stereotype that billionaires spend lavishly, many of the wealthiest individuals in the world are incredibly frugal in areas that don't provide a return. They understand that being smart with their money doesn't mean constantly buying the newest gadgets or showing off flashy cars. It means prioritizing long-term value over short-term indulgence. Wealthy individuals practice delayed gratification. They are willing to live below their means for decades in order to ensure their assets can eventually pay for their luxuries. For example, while someone in the middle class might buy a new car every few years, a rich person might drive a reliable car for many years while they focus on building their wealth through investments. When they do choose to spend, they focus on quality over brand. They invest in durable goods that will last a lifetime, rather than spending money on fast fashion or items that quickly lose value. The concept of selective frugality isn't about depriving yourself. It's about making intentional choices about where your money goes. By being frugal in non-essential areas, wealthy individuals ensure they can accumulate more assets and invest more in their future. This habit helps them avoid lifestyle inflation, where increasing income leads to increasing spending, which can trap you in a cycle of never-ending debt. So there you have it. These are the top 5 things rich people do differently with their money. From buying time instead of status, to viewing money as a weapon, and focusing on income streams over savings, these key strategies can help you build lasting wealth. The habits of the wealthy are rooted in strategic decision-making, patience, and a long-term vision. By applying these principles to your own finances, you can set yourself on the path to financial security and success. Remember, wealth isn't just about how much you earn. It's about how you manage your money and make it work for you. Start implementing these principles today and watch as your financial future becomes brighter and more secure. Before you go, don't forget to like this video if you found these tips helpful. Share it with anyone who could benefit from these strategies. And subscribe to stay up to date with more financial insights. Your financial future is in your hands. Take action today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.